Good morning. How are you today? Happy Mother's Day to all those moms and, people who nurture and have that mother energy. Happy Mother's Day to you too. That takes a lot of work as well. And happy Sunday. Welcome to our Sunday Live, where we talk about all things self-care and success and living our absolute best life. That about covers it, right? And we drink coffee, because coffee is delicious. It's the nectar of the gods, I believe. All right, so today I gave the people in my group a little heads up. That's in, it's a Facebook group, private Facebook group, which you're welcome to join. I'll put the link below. But I gave the people in my group the heads up that today I'm going to teach a little trick, I suppose, to sabotage your success if you don't already do it. The thing is, a lot of us do. I mean, who wants success anyways, right? I mean, it's a lot of work. Who wants it? Well, most likely if you're in one of my groups, you do, right? Now, whatever that means to you, success can mean different things for different people. And we've gone into that in great detail, so I'm not going to get into that too much today. But if you haven't already, if you're in my group and you haven't already, go back and watch the video that we did, I think it was 2 weeks ago, where I gave you a vision board workshop. It's a bit longer than usual, more than our Sunday Lives usually are, but it's really worth it. There's a lot of little nuggets in there about how to build success with and without a vision board. If you're not interested in the vision board, just take a look and see. There really is a lot of good stuff in there, and some stuff that our members of our group have also commented on and posted, and even in the live video. But today, I'm going to assume that you have already gone ahead and defined what success is for you. And I'm going to assume that you know where your end game is. Okay? Now, I know that's a big jump because a lot of us don't. Right? And we talk about this quite often because it keeps coming up for us. Often we have like a general visual something or other that we want. We want success, but we haven't defined it in clear terms where we know when we've reached it. And that is always step one. So now we're getting into, if you're in the group and you've been hanging with me and you've been doing the things that we've been doing together in the lives and on video, you're pretty much in a place now where it's time to start the doing. And as I've said in, I think, last week, now is the time. Now is definitely the time. We are in May. May is the growing season. May is the doing season. Get out there, plant the seeds, tend to them, weed things out that aren't useful to you, right? Give yourself some breathing room. Even plants can't have everything grow. Right, we have to go in and plant the carrot seeds, and I'm actually going to be doing this next week. Start picking out where they're clustered together and pick out the ones that don't look as strong and leave the ones that look really strong. You have to do that with your dreams and your goals too. I like to say you can do anything you want, you just can't do everything. And all that means is, this, unfortunately, we are mortal. Our lifespan is not as long as some of us would like, me included. This world is gorgeous and it's huge and it's just full of amazing things that we might want to do or experience or see or visit, and unfortunately we just can't. It's not even a matter of funds, or that does come into play, but there's just not enough time, which is a blessing. And it can also be a frustration for those of us who kind of want to do everything. So you have to pick and choose. You have to pick what speaks to your soul. You really do. And that's where setting your goals really clear will help you, because it keeps you from getting distracted and sidetracked. But today, I'm coming around to it, don't worry. Today, I just want to talk about one way that we tend to sabotage. And if you want to sabotage your success, here's a perfect way to do it. There's a lot of talk about rewarding, right? Some people say they don't like it, that success should be its own reward. Well, okay, here's the problem. We're human. We need feedback. We absolutely do. I have taken many, many courses in my day. And I've taught many. And what I have discovered is people learn more, get more, and are happier with the course when they get feedback, constant, regular feedback. So here's how we can apply that to goal setting and success in our day-to-day life. So imagine you have a goal that's going to take you a year. And many of us do. I know I do. I have a few of them. Some of us even have goals that are going to take us 5 or 10 years. But let's just stick with a year because I think that's a doable frame of time, and I think most of us have those goals. So after 3 or 4 months, something new pops up, a new opportunity, because that's just how it goes every time. It just does. New things are always coming into our scope. They're always showing up for us, always, always, always. We just have to pay attention to them, which is another issue for another day. But what happens is if you're not clear on your goals, you're going to get distracted. And you're going to go, ooh, shiny, right? Or what's that movie, Up, right? Oh, squirrel. It happens. It happens. So there's the first thing we need to do. And here's the kicker. If you haven't had any feedback or taken the time to really experience the small little pieces of success along the way, it's much, much easier to get distracted by something new, because new is exciting, right? It is. I mean, how many of us, especially if you're, like I know quite a few people in my group are entrepreneurs or, unique individuals, and we love new. We love novelty. We love these new ideas that pop in our head, and we do like 40% of it and then we get distracted. That's no way to success, right? You're not going to reach that end game. The other problem with that is what if you don't reach it? What if situations change and you don't reach that goal? Unfortunately, we have been taught in our society that it's here and the goal. I'm trying to do this so you can see it on the screen. Here and the goal, and nothing in between is worthwhile until you get here. And that just simply isn't true. That just simply isn't true. Every moment, every day, there's new experiences, there's new learning, there's new successes that we have, and we don't enjoy those if all we're doing is waiting to get to here. Because you might never get to here. I have some, and I'm sure you do too, some life goals, some very lofty goals that I cannot accomplish in a year or even 10 years. It's just, they're goals that I want by the end of my life to have accomplished and be able to revel in. Those are lofty. And you should have those too. You know, some people call them bucket lists. If we don't take the time to enjoy the little things, the little steps along the way where we've accomplished something new, learned what we've needed to, done something difficult. It doesn't have to be hard. It can just be difficult maybe for us, right? You know, the introvert who goes to a networking event, maybe doesn't talk much, doesn't get any new clients, doesn't really forward the business, needs to still appreciate and celebrate that success, even if it's only for a moment, right? Even if it's only a specialty coffee on the way home instead of a regular one to say, yeah, yay me. Because that's our feedback. When we're reaching for personal goals, those little steps along the way give us feedback. They bolster us. Without those, we are very, very easily distracted, very, very easily frustrated, and eventually get worn out. And then we don't accomplish our goals. And not because we couldn't, because we didn't. And so there's your sabotage part one. If you want to sabotage yourself or someone else, don't give them any feedback. Don't celebrate the small steps and successes. Just keep focusing on the big end game, and only then feel worthwhile if you reach that goal. However, if you don't want to sabotage your success or someone else's, here's a couple of ways that you can get around it. Acknowledge. Acknowledge what's difficult for you. If, going back to my example, going to a networking event, especially for the first time, is difficult, and you don't acknowledge that, and you don't acknowledge the fact that you did it, the next one's going to be just as difficult. In your mind, you haven't acknowledged your success, so you haven't had any. Acknowledge your successes. Even the ones that seem a little, well, everyone else does it every day. You know what? That doesn't mean that they're not feeling those butterflies and stress and having to talk themselves into going. So don't discount the small things, okay? Please. In fact, I'd love to hear what some of your small successes are right now. I will share one first because I believe in walking the walk. No, talking the walk. You know what I mean. In doing what I say. I recently launched publicly the fact that I make lotion bars, soaps, teas, and essential oil blends. I have been doing this quietly under the table for private group members, one-on-one clients, friends, family. And I took a leap of faith and posted on Facebook just some examples of what I have done. And the feedback was beautiful. And here's the thing. Yeah, I got feedback for the lotion bars because that's what I posted. They're really cute too. If you haven't seen them, I'll post a picture of them. They're little adorable things. Oh my gosh, they turned out so beautiful and they smell divine. But the feedback that I needed for my own personal self wasn't the adoration of the lotion bars. It was the fact that I stepped out of the closet, that I was open about it, that I put it out there for people to see and judge. That is tough. It is tough. When it's something that, I'm really passionate about, I love doing it. It's my happy place, right? When I need to do something like a hobby, something, that's what I do. So the success of that particular endeavor was, yes, I got really great feedback, and actually I publicly went to places and I shared as well. But the feedback that I needed myself was that I can do that. I can be judged and I can survive it. It wasn't horrible. Can I do it again? Absolutely. Will I still feel a little nervous? Probably. But I know it's been okay once, and I've acknowledged that success, that I did it. I did it, and I didn't even cry. It was actually really fun. So there's two different layers to that, and you have to acknowledge both. So acknowledge and enjoy the feedback you get from others, but it's important to know what feedback you need for your own personal success and personal growth. Okay? So that's the one. The other one is kind of the flip side, the other tip I would give you. And this is, again, I know I'm going to harp on journals. This is where your journal can come in really handy. Or you can just get a notebook or post-it notes or type it in your phone as a reminder. I've actually tried it myself. I didn't love it because I'm not on social media as much as you might think. But I've seen people post, it was a suggestion one of my clients gave me, I believe, status updates, but only to me. So you can change the privacy so only you see it. And they use that. But whatever your method, try a few. See what works for you. The night before, you're going to set up a specific item, activity, experience, whatever it is that you need to move forward. So you've got your big goals, you've got your vision boards, you've got the things that you want. You're going to decide one small thing that you can do the very next day, not sometime this week, the very next day. You're going to write it down, and that's it. And then you're going to go do it. Now, don't think by any means that this has to be something huge. It could be something as simple as finding the number and contact information for someone you might want to partner with, or you know, a place you want to have a table and sell your goods, a therapist, ordering an essential oil that you heard about today that sounds like it might be really useful for you, and then the ordering, and then the next day maybe the researching, and then you can do these pieces. They don't have to be done all at once. Okay? Although your lifetime is finite, it's not that short. And every time you do that, give yourself some kudos. Check it off. Yay you. I'm not a big fan of doing that with food in the reward system, but you know, you do you. It's important. It's important that you give yourself some success. And by give yourself, I mean just acknowledge it. So if you, and it's amazing how this works. And I'm not being at all facetious. I mean, if you think about what we do every day as people, right? People who play video games, if you ever play one of those games where you have to go log in and click the things and collect the money, and that's an instant reward, and people get addicted to that, right? There was I'm trying to remember who said this. I can't remember who it was. I think it was a general, maybe a president of some sort, who said it's amazing to him what men will do in war for a ribbon. Right now, obviously, there's the connotation, the meaning behind the ribbon. When I'm teaching small children, a jelly bean can completely change the entire learning scope, because it's a small reward. It's a positive reinforcement, and you can take that and do it. It seems silly, which is why a lot of us don't do it, right? Happy dancing over the fact that you found the number for, or the website for someone that you want to work with. That seems kind of silly. So be silly. Life's too short not to be silly. The point is, positive reinforcement works if it's frequent and constant and consistent. After you start finding more success and building that success confidence and that success muscle, you might have bigger steps. But truly, waiting a year to decide if you're successful and having these goals, remember, you got your vision board, you can have steps all the way along that you enjoy, that you reward yourself for, that you celebrate. You don't have to wait till you get to the end goal, because that's too long. You're going to get distracted, you're going to get frustrated, you're going to lose momentum, and this is where motivation comes in. Gosh, I can't remember who said anything today. Zig Ziglar perhaps said, motivation is like bathing. We recommend you do it every day. And doing motivation means figuring out how to motivate yourself, and this is one way to do that. When you lose motivation, it is tricky to get it back. And you cannot assume other people will do that for you. I have had clients who want me to do that for them. But true motivation doesn't come from a coach or a teacher or a doctor or a mom or a dad. True motivation comes from within, from acknowledging that you are worthwhile and you are successful and you can do these things, and it's fun and exciting and scary all at the same time. So Write it down and then check every night before you go to bed and enjoy that moment that you did it. It feels good, right? Some days, I'm not kidding you, some days it feels good and it feels like I finally got some success just by doing the dishes. The kitchen's clean before I go to bed. I'm feeling pretty good about that because I'm tired. It's been a long day. It's like 10 o'clock at night, but I still did it because I like getting up to a clean environment, to a place to start fresh. You can do that however it works for you, okay? But I would encourage you to remember they don't have to be big at all. They could be simply, making a phone call, sending an email, going to a new place. It could be something bigger, going to a networking event, talking to 5 people. It could be asking for that raise. Whatever it is that you need to do to move your personal growth, your career, your life goals forward, figure it out. Tiny step, the one you can do tomorrow. Write it down before you go to bed tonight. Let your subconscious work on it. Get up in the morning, read it again. Allow yourself to get excited. Nerves and excitement feel a lot alike, right? No one has ever died from being embarrassed or being mistaken, right? Find out, ask the questions, do the things, celebrate. And it doesn't have to be, literally a happy dance, although I am a big fan of that. It can just simply be allowing yourself to feel the emotions, to feel what it's like to have accomplished. And sit in it. We sit in our feeling crappy easily enough. We've got to flip that around and start going, okay, I feel crappy. I'm going to put that aside till I have time to deal with it, and I'll figure it out later. And start sitting in the good feelings just as much, if not more. So, figure out what you're going to do. Figure out what you can do tomorrow, and then the next tomorrow, the next tomorrow, the next tomorrow. Not only does this allow you to feel successful, right, and to bolster your motivation and your self-confidence, but you're moving along your goals too, quite quickly, I might add, and you don't get as distracted because you're focused. Ta-da! So, it's not really how to sabotage. I kind of tell you the opposite. But if you want to sabotage, definitely don't enjoy anything that you do along the way. Anyways, I hope that this was useful for you. I would love to hear that you are doing this and how it works out for you. If you have any questions or you're not sure about something that I said, please put in the comments below. Let me know what you're thinking, what's working for you, what's not working for you, what you'd like to see more of. You know the deal. And this is also your reminder that you have everything you need without and within to handle whatever it is this week throws at you. We are here for you. Have a wonderful, wonderful week and a beautiful, beautiful Sunday. Bye for now.